AH reportedly grabbed someone by the neck, started slashing their dress with a wine opener, started screaming like a maniac that they were going to their throat for bleeping their boyfriend. And this source, they go on to say, she's a total psycho. No doubt in my mind that she's going to end someone at some point if she hasn't already. You're talking about allegations of out-of-control parties, about behavior you wouldn't believe. You and I, we are going to talk about this today. Man, crazy times, huh? Crazy times indeed. So, hey there, to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way, I hope you are doing excellently. And this report, it comes to us from one house inhabit, aka Jessica Reed Klaus. You can find the entire thing at jessicareedklaus.substack.com. And the tale that she's bringing you from sources, this thing, it is something. I'm going to listen to this opening here. Outside of drunken, violent tendencies, the sex parties were the first revelations to come at me repeatedly once I started to dig into AH's past. Information gleaned from varying sources who either knew her during this period or attended the parties themselves. Details lined up regarding costumes, satanic themes, lesbian orgies, performed on stages constructed at residences in or around LA and the Bay Area, the same faces in regular rotation. Tech gods, capitalists, founders, top executives, and up-and-coming entrepreneurs gathered roughly once a month for wild evenings fueled by alcohol, fueled by copious amounts of MDMA, and of course, the S to the E to the X. Now, according to House and Habit sources, threaded in amongst those out-of-control parties is an out-of-control AH who's having toxic traits, drastic mood swings, maniacal meltdowns. Basically, she's volatile and out of control. These people, though, they want to be around her so badly that they protect her with the notion of loyalty coming up, and you could see that on display during the trial. But listen to this here. Quote, the notion of loyalty proved a common theme threaded into conversations with ex-friends. A few confessed to being so enthralled with AH that they were willing to overlook toxic traits, drastic mood swings, and maniacal meltdowns to remain in her good graces. Some claim she possessed a unique magnetism that allowed her to manipulate people to the extent that she did, so they discuss a lot of manipulation, but much of her allure seemed to center around the plain fact of her beguiling beauty. Now, one source that they quote goes even further, saying that the reason she gets away with this behavior, and we'll talk about some big behavior we were mentioning at the beginning in just a moment, but they say the reason that she gets away with it because she's the quote-unquote blackmail queen. They say that she plays games of skullduggery and effery that lack true logic and focus on what is relevant and true. Whatever she can do to get what she wants appear to come out like an innocent, well-behaved, put-together woman who was so wronged by the world and everyone in it. She will hurt anyone in her path, and she'll walk away. Now, this source, they're going to go much, much further, talking about how they were attacked in a room full of people by AH. Why? Because they brought the wrong date to a party hosted by a certain rocket man. They thought that AH wouldn't be there after basically a volatile friendship. Well, it didn't come to pass. Whew, man, this is crazy stuff. Now, to understand how you get here, too, you have to understand she's saying that she was in a relationship with AH at one time. In fact, she talks about Rocky. She talks about a bug Tesla. You remember the story by Jennifer Howe talking about a certain rocket man? Well, she says that she was around at that time. She heard about the bug Tesla. In fact, AH supposedly gave said bug Tesla to her sister. What a great person, right? Somebody's spying on me. Here, sis, why don't you have this free car? On top of that, she talks about lurid affairs. This breaking down the bond between certain rocket man and AH, and how, after a while, after everything fell apart, she went to a party. This is where she gets attacked. Listen to this here. A Gatsby-themed party in San Francisco is where it all came crashing to a head. Elon invited and encouraged, I'm just going to call her the source, to come. She arrived in a beautiful beaded 1920s style gown with a handsome Hollywood date on her arm. She remembers the dress in loving detail, a pale pink, low swooping back with hand beaded bodice. Delicate but sexy. She was under the impression that AH would not be at this event. You know, she's saying, I didn't think she would be here. I didn't really want her to be there either, because she knew that the Rocket Man and she had broken up and that things had gotten increasingly ugly after the Australian incident. That's talking about lurid affairs, by the way. Elon, he alleged to her, this is what she says, that he saw AH having certain affairs. So she was stunned to hear her name called out from the top of a staircase by AH. What is it with staircases and AH, by the way, above her as she greeted people at the bar below. She says that AH spotted the actor she had brought as her date, infuriating her, triggering a violent attack in front of a room full of people. Here's the messages, too, that House and Habit posted. God, he was so cute. Because I was into him and she flipped out, I brought a guy, especially him. Nobody is allowed to play with her toys. She didn't actually give two bleeps about me. It was just one of her toys at the bottom of the toy chest, and as soon as someone else is playing with it, they want it back. That's her. So she's asked here. It's all about control, mainly. She's like Veruca's salt is the reply. I want it now. Yes. She then describes that alleged incident perpetrated by AH. Listen to this here. She grabbed me by the neck and started slashing my dress with a wine opener like a maniac. Yeah, of course, like a maniac. Is there any other way to describe that type of behavior? Screaming that she was going to bleep my neck for bleeping her boyfriend. She then says that it took a friend of AH's to finally pull AH off of her and away from the bar, because this is the kind of stuff that she would do out in the open. But the shredded dress marked an indefinite end to whatever lingering infatuation that still remained. Again, she's saying people would cover for AH, would cover behaviors like this. There were years of it. Oh, man. I can't wait to see what else gets reported. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Can't say that enough. Want to help out the channel? Well, there's a link in the description. A few of them, by the way. Check those out. Share this, too. Make sure everyone sees it. Check out the Substack as well for the entire story. We may live stream it. Let me know if you want to do that. But yeah, you being here, I appreciate the heck out of that. Want to end here saying again, thank you, and we will see you soon. With a smile on her face.